Welcome back to the channel. We are going to be going over how our week went for week 1 of 12. This is an 88-day challenge, not a 90-day challenge, because 90 days would have been started on a Saturday, and we started on a Monday because nobody wanted to start.
No, we're not about that life.
I did, but they didn't. They're slackers.
Lies.
So, like I said, we're going to put out one podcast a week for the next 12 weeks, recapping what we did during the week, like how we felt, our failures, our successes, and everything like that. So this will be however long this podcast runs for us to get in everything that we want to talk about, how our week went. So my week went pretty good besides the extreme hunger.
Still hungry.
So intermittent fasting is going great.
Yeah, it is
For you?
actually. It is. I started off at 228.8, and as this morning, I am 223.8. So that's 5
Nice.
pounds in a week. Well, 5 pounds in 5 days. So that's a pound a day, basically.
Me too.
Yeah, so it's going actually
that for
really
you.
well. It's just the downside is the hunger kicks in around 6, and it doesn't let up until I eat the next day.
And
Weird.
6 p.m., that's your last meal time.
3 p.m. is my last meal time.
3.
I'm good all the way up until after the workout. Once I get done working out, I go into hunger mode, and I just deal with it the rest of the night.
My hunger starts like as soon as I wake up, and then it's there the whole day.
So even when you're eating in between your meals, you're still hungry?
Well, I don't really think about it because I'm working. So, but when I know it's time to eat and I can actually think about it, then I'm like, oh man, I'm hungry. But
So it starts to kick in close to you get to the meal times when it really starts to kind of hone in. Yeah. So mine's not like that at all. Like whenever I eat my first meal at 7, I'm full. And then at 9, because it's 2 hours for my next meal, and I'm really full. And then 12, I'm even fuller. And then by 3 o'clock, I'm really full. But then come 6 o'clock, I'm like, I'm so hungry.
It's like I haven't eaten all day.
Right.
I
And
think it's the brain like knows like, hey,
Yeah.
you're not eating anymore. You're hungry even though you're not. Because if you probably had a meal at 6, you probably would be like, oh my god, I'm really full.
well, actually, before I went to intermittent fasting, I was doing 6 of these meals a day, and then I would eat at 6 after my workout. Then by 7, I was hungry, and then I eat again at 9 p.m. And then by like 9:30, I was just as hungry as I was before I even ate. So I don't really. I'm more hungry in the evenings. I know my body.
Because you're a snacker.
Right. So I know, like, for me, intermittent fasting in the morning works better because I'm not hungry in the mornings. I don't normally wake up with hunger. I don't like really eating the first couple hours of the day. So eating in the morning is more like ideal for me to lose weight because I eat when I'm not hungry, so I don't overeat. And then when I am hungry, I don't eat, so I don't overeat. Because even though I'm hungry, even if I eat, I'm still going to be hungry in the evenings. And I'm not going to be satisfied until I completely overgorge myself with a ridiculous amount of food. So I'm so overfull, I just ate an absurd amount of calories. So just not eating when I'm hungry, like for the hungry time of the day for me, just makes more sense. Because it's like, even if you eat, you're still going to be hungry. So might as well eat when you're not hungry so you can control your food more. And then when you are hungry, just don't eat so you don't go off the rails. Because again, I'm that type of guy where if I start eating something I like, I want to get full off of it. I don't want to have a taste and be like, "Oh yeah, that was great." No, I'm like, "Oh yeah, now let's hurt. Let's eat so much we hurt."
Well, you
Yeah.
start with that one thing that you wanted, and then you start eating so many random things and make yourself hurt. That's what you do.
Yeah. Yes. How's y'all's weeks going?
Mine started off not great. Had some issues with my neck and shoulder area, so I missed the beginning part of the week, and kind of been just bouncing around, floating on my meals at the moment because I didn't prep anything this week really. Just limiting my intake a little bit. I'll start more fresh come next week because I'll be back into it the full week again.
So you're doing an 11-week challenge, is what you're doing.
Pretty much.
Got it.
Yeah.
So we're on 88 days, and you're on what is that?
He hasn't started day
Mine is
one
7.
yet.
81.
Okay, 81.
That's hard, guys.
Yes, that was quick.
Y'all see
on the
how
math.
fast I did
That was
that?
good. We didn't have to use the
Yes.
fingers. That was good. That was real good.
Yeah, so see, I'm just gonna push myself that much harder to just do it in less time.
Hey, more power to you.
Well, just
But you also don't have
Challenge.
like a set goal.
That's true too.
Challenge accepted. Well, I'm not doing cardio though. You are. You're doing cardio. I'm trying to get to my goal without the need of cardio.
So I had been doing the cardio, but like very minimal. It's 10 minutes after working out or anything. But I want to instead take the time to actually just do the diet, do the workout, and see where I'm at, and figure out if I need to adjust the diet or if adding cardio in would be the better kind of thing. That way, it's
The lesser
like
of two evils.
the cardio will be added in as a necessity, like when it's actually needed, and not just doing it.
Once you hit a plateau.
Instead of eating less, you want to do more, basically.
Yeah.
But I think where you need to start off is just doing a diet.
Well, yeah, it's like I'm gonna start
Next week.
Monday. Start Monday.
Oh, my neck. Oh, son of a gun.
Well, I've been doing meals on a consistent
Getting the
basis,
crickets.
kind of thing, and my weight was coming down. My weight's kind of fluctuated back up a little bit, but it's not like I'm still not anywhere less than what I was still from the previous weeks. But the cardio, like I said, I don't know if it was really doing a lot for me or not. I'd rather just see where I'm at with the diet, adjust my food accordingly from that, and then if I decide to later on, then I can add the cardio back in. But again, I just do like 10 minutes. You were doing freaking 40 in the morning, 40 in the evening.
Yeah.
I'm 10 minutes, freaking moderate pace. Just
I
work
thought
through
you were
it real
mainly
quick.
just doing it to finish the rings on your watch. Were you doing it for that, or
That's-
were you doing it more so for?
Well, like, so in the previous, when he was doing his previous 90 days, that's what I was doing. I was just going until the rings on my watch finished
75
out.
days.
71. 71.
75 days, guys.
Oh,
Not-
my bad. My
Oh,
bad.
for
Yeah.
your
Well,
last one.
he says the last 90 days. It says like your 75-day challenge. Just want to be clear, guys. I've never done 90 days anything in my life.
Wow.
It's always either been more or less, right? I always try to shoot for 12 weeks, but I always end up like, it seems like anytime I start a program, it's like, okay, it's going to be a 12-week program, 90 days, and it ends up pushing to like 14 weeks or 16 weeks or 18 weeks. And it's never actually ever exactly 12 weeks. It's either like 11 or 10 weeks, or it's always like 14, 16 weeks. And it either gets cut short or it gets pushed longer. So like when the grease is hot, you got to cook. And if I'm cooking, I'm going to keep going and stuff. But sometimes you burn out a little bit faster. You got to change the grease. So you got to
Yeah.
gotta cool down.
Right on.
Sometimes you go a little too long and you end up with a torn pec.
Yeah, that's true too. I think the honest reason why I tore my pec is
Okay.
because I was dehydrated. We drove to Lubbock, Texas. It was really dry there. I didn't drink nothing the whole way out because I don't want to have to pee when we're driving for 12 hours. And then when we were there, we went to the museums and we were walking around the museums all day the day before competition, and I hardly drank any fluid at all. And then I went to go compete. And I think that's the honest reason why I tore my pec. I think I was just really dehydrated.
I mean, at least you tore it doing something cool. Like imagine like
Yeah.
taking a shower and hurting your neck.
Yeah.
Like,
Ooh,
I
think
know,
how
right?
embarrassing that would be.
Yeah,
That'd be bad.
So what were you doing? Oh, I was grabbing Mr. Bubbles, and my neck just kind of gave out on me.
I mean, I've had worse situations. Like I fell on your cobblestone walkway out there and broke a wrist. So,
And a rib.
yeah,
You just
you know,
said that on camera.
I know. So I beat you to the story.
Well, he forgot to tell you that he was crying out there and it was
I
raining.
wasn't crying. I was trying to catch my breath. There's a difference.
Wheezing. Speaking of wheezing, how is your weight loss going this week? Let's talk about yours.
It's going good, but my big issue is the weekend. So it'll be interesting next week what I have to report on how it went. So all this week I've been good. I missed one meal time yesterday, and it was my coffee meal, like at 6:30 in the morning because I slept past my alarm.
so your dessert meal, not a meal, just a dessert.
It was the calorie
Is it?
intake at that time. But I've been, like you told me these next 2 weeks, you wanted me to really watch my daily calories, like figure out what my average is, which I'm thinking is around like 1750. So I'm
That's
trying
what
to,
so far this week, that's what you've been totaling on average is about 1,700.
if I like add the 3 days together and divide it by 3, like when I did it on
You have
Wednesday.
a little high day, low day, high day, but
Yeah.
it's averaging out. Is what you're saying.
Yeah, my highest has been like 19, below 50, and then I had like a 16, so I think like 17.
Yeah, well,
ish.
that's good. And you've lost weight though. Like you're losing weight. I mean, you're working out 6 days a week, and even just like so, you're doing 3 clean meals and you're doing 3 fun meals, and then you're working out 6 days a week and watching, just kind of monitoring, keeping your calories kind of monitored. How much have you lost this week so far? What
This
are you
week
down
so
to?
far, I'm almost 4 pounds down.
So what is your actual weight right now?
204.1,
So you're 204.1, and what did you start at?
207 point something.
Okay, and then what? Oh, I guess your weight. Did you say your weight? I don't remember if you did.
No, not. So I was 241. What I'm down to right now.
And what were you? Because I know that. Well, we'll talk about that a little bit. But you've dropped a significant amount of weight from last week to this week. But we'll talk about that here in a second. We'll just get the weight in.
So right now I'm sitting around 241 point something. End of the week before I was like right at 252, just below 252.
So roughly around 11 pounds.
Yes.
9.
Nine.
Is that 9?
No, it's well 250. I was just under 252, so I was 251 point something. I
And
don't
you're
remember.
241
I'm
now, right?
241 ish
So
right
about
now.
10 pounds.
So it's about 10 pounds.
Well, he said 52 and then 41, so I was like, that's 9.
That's 11.
That's 11.
11. Oh, shoot, I'm the wrong way.
And that's why you
Guys.
handle people's insurance.
Guys, again, we count in 45s. We normally use our fingers when we have to
Oh
count
my
other than
gosh.
45s. We're just dumb
Wow.
meatheads, okay? And then what was your starting weight at this week?
I was 163 and I'm 158. I lost 5 pounds.
Yeah. So we've all done fairly well, actually, in this first starting week.
I'm glad to be
week
back in the
one,
150s actually, because before this week, when I was dieting before, like during your first challenge, it was really hard for me to break 160, like to get below. Remember how much trouble I was having? I was running, I was trying really hard, and I couldn't break it. I even went and got my blood work done to see if I had like something going on why I couldn't lose weight, because there's no reason not to. And it's nice to see it go below 160 that easy in 5 days.
So that's the thing. So you went to a weight loss clinic and had your blood panels done, and they said that your thyroid was low, your testosterone was low, your vitamin D was low, and your vitamin B12 was low. And then you went to your actual main health care physician and they redid your work, and then they're like, oh no, everything is great. But then when you looked at the actual numbers, everything is just above low. So it's just like your vitamin D was like 30 and low is 29. So it's just
Right.
like, no, you're low. It's just you're just on the point
You
of
hit the
teetering,
threshold.
right? You're teetering on the edge. Same thing for your testosterone, your thyroid, and everything else. So we were talking about this earlier, saying like, well, the difference between a healthcare physician and a weight loss clinic, if you go there. Now, I'm not saying go to a weight loss clinic to have them write out your diet and programs, but it's a good tool to go to have your blood work done and have someone read your blood panels for you, because they know what they're looking at. And if you go to a good weight loss clinic, they're going to look at your panels. And if you go to your doctor, they're going to look at your panels. Your doctor's going to be like, okay, well, your testosterone is supposed to be 300 and it's 301. So 299 is low, and then for males, and then like for females, they're going to look at theirs and look at the testosterone. Then they're going to look at everything, estrogen. They're going to look at all of it, and they don't care if it's just 1 point in the green. They're not going to give you anything for it, and the insurance won't approve it. But a weight loss clinic is going to be like, okay, well, your vitamin D is at like 30, and we could get you up to 80, and you're going to feel better. And your testosterone is at like 30, and you're a female, let's get you up to 150 because that's on the high scale, and you're going to feel like you're 20 again, and that's going to help you lose weight, put muscle on. And your estrogen's high, so we're going to dial that back down to the low healthy range. So they want to get you optimal. They don't want to get you just baseline, like this is how you're supposed to feel. That's what your doctor does. A weight loss clinic that actually cares about you and performance side of things, they want to get you to feeling like you're 20, you're youthful, you're young, your body's operating optimal, not just enough, right?
Yeah.
So that's the
Right.
biggest difference. So she's actually taking vitamin D. Now you're taking vitamin D.
Right,
I'll
but
let
my
you talk about that.
estrogen and stuff was in the middle though. It was in the middle of like the clear, so it wasn't like close to low and it wasn't close to high. It was like straight in the middle. Same with my testosterone and my thyroid. So those three things were actually like perfect because they were like in the middle of where the average is.
Well, when you went to the weight loss clinic, it was low, but then when your physician pulled it, it was in the normal range.
Right, and I've also been working out and dieting and stuff too. So
You have?
since then.
Good for you.
So, well, and the thing too, this is the thing about blood work. Blood work's very important, but the thing about blood work, it's literally just a screenshot. It's a snapshot of like what's going on at that moment, and it can vary greatly from week to week, day to day, month to month. So whenever you have like a day where your hormones might be off a little bit, a week or two, they might completely change. So getting your blood panel done every 3 months is great, but like I said, you might go on a bad day, or you might go on a good day, and like everything's great. You know, like when I take my blood pressure, I take it 4 times because I want to see what my blood's fluctuating to. And I'll fluctuate. Like last time I took my blood pressure, I was bouncing from 139 to 120 on the high. So it's like 120, 139, 125, 135. It's bouncing. The low is bouncing between 80 to 95. So like I said, like it's just a screenshot of just a quick moment of what's fluctuating in your system and what you eat day to day, how much sleep you get, how much water you get. Everything affects you greatly. So we can optimize the levels by changing up the diets, changing up what we eat, and our lifestyles, cardio, working out, and everything else. But like I said, if you start feeling bad or tired or exhausted, like the best thing to do is get your blood work done and see if there's an underlying issue. And something like vitamin D, that's not going to change overnight. That's something that like it takes a long time to build back up in the body and stuff like that. Typically same for your hormones too. But like I said, like you had your blood panels done a month apart and they were massively different in a month.
But I feel like a month apart too is a month further from my surgery, so I might be regulating more than I was before.
That is true. Your hysterectomy.
I
yeah.
just had a hysterectomy in March, and then I had my blood work like a month ago, and things were low. But a whole nother month is a whole nother month of recovery, and my stuff's starting to regulate. So I mean, that could be. They might have been low before, but it could have been because of that.
Yep. So, and there's things that we could take. So now I want to recircle back to what we were talking about the weight for you and the weight loss. So there are supplements out there that can help you greatly. Like for you, you're taking a supplement right now to help with water retention, and I'll let you talk about that.
So yeah, I started taking a supplement brand for like the vitamins and mineral.
And real quick,
habits
we're
I
not
have.
dropping any brand names because we're not sponsored by none of them. So we're just going to talk about the product, but not the brand names. or
Yeah.
anything.
So started taking these. They come in a pack. So like I did that, and then as a supplement to that as well, they offer another item. So I was like, yeah, let me give it a shot. It says it has like a diuretic and some other stuff in it. I'm not really sure I feel any benefit of the diuretic itself, especially when it talks about like the appetite suppression. My appetite feels basically the same as it always does. Like I don't feel like I'm any less hungry or more hungry while taking it. But what I have noticed is it comes with a stimulant pill, which is caffeine along with a blend of other things. And I do notice that for myself personally, I don't really believe I'm very caffeine sensitive to, like, for the most part. Like I can kind of have a caffeine drink and I don't really get like the large effect of like that burst of energy sort of thing. So like I use caffeine as like my pre-workout typically. So I'll have like the zero sugar kind of energy drink, something like that. You do coffee. I'm not a big coffee person. It
doesn't palate well
it's
for
an
you.
acquired taste. I just haven't gotten to the point where I've decided to acquire the taste of coffee. Not the dessert style
Oh, so
coffee,
good.
but just actual coffee, just black coffee sort of thing. If I'm going to do like a coffee, it's just going to be a black coffee. But I just haven't.
Jumping straight into
Yeah,
the
I
deep
haven't,
end.
I haven't gotten to that
You can't be
point
judging
yet.
us because you don't even drink it at all.
That's right.
So like, how
That's
do you
right.
know?
Leave our dessert coffee alone.
Yeah, like I feel
But-
tucked.
with this stuff that I've been taking, the stimulant that's in it, you take it twice a day, and I take it once in the morning around 7, and I'll take the second pack right around ringing 1:15 to 2 o'clock, somewhere in there. If I go a little bit later than that, because I've taken it at roughly around just before 3, I find that by the time it's like I'm supposed to be going, like you're getting ready to go to sleep, I'm still kind of like awake,
Little wired.
bit. Because I don't know what it is with the blend, but it does keep me more focused and like energized, and I don't want to just sit still. I want to move around a bit more in general. Also, I noticed for me personally, I wear my watch. A lot of people have them, different brands, whatever you choose to use. But I have noticed that while wearing or with having it on and just checking every now and then, because of it being a stimulant, I'm just curious that I'll check my heart rate every now and then. It's not an exact, but I do notice that on a typical, before I started taking it, my heart rate was roughly in the 60-ish range, 60 to 70, somewhere in there, rested. Now my heart rate stays pretty much in like the 70, 75 range. So I'm about 10 higher in like my rested than I usually am. And then when I work out, my heart rate stays about 10 to 15 higher just during my regular workout. So that's something that I notice as well, is like whatever is in there, it increases like my heart rate a little bit. So that's one thing that I was like, well, just keep track of that.
Well, a normal heart rate for an adult male our age is around 60 to 100. So as long as you're 60 to 100, you're good. Like my resting heart rate is like 59 to 62, but my active heart rate's like 88 to like 105.
I know. I'm like, what's my heart rate?
Now, when I say rested, I mean that's relaxed at the end of the day, chilling on the couch. Like if I'm up and moving around, my heart rate's around like 80, 85. Now, as far as those for supplements and stuff like that, like I take a multivitamin, and then I take digestive enzymes. I take probiotics. I also take like all the vitamins and minerals that I need throughout the day that I don't get from my very, very, very restricted diet. And then I also take a blood pressure natural supplement. I don't want a prescription blood pressure medication yet, because I try to keep my blood pressure at like 120 over 80 is where I really try to keep it. Whenever I reduce my sodium and salt, like I'm sensitive to sodium, so like if I cut it completely out of my diet, my blood pressure drops really well. But I mean, it sucks not getting to season your food. I mean, I can do it, but it's just those things I prefer not to do it. So right now, currently, I've been getting around 4,000 milligrams of sodium a day. And like I said, my blood pressure elevated. It was around 120 over 80. Now it's kind of like bouncing between 130, like high 130s to low 120s. So it's between there. Last couple times I've checked it. So now I've just recently added in a blood pressure, a natural, like herbal blood pressure medication pill that a lot of people talked about, said like it helps, lower their blood. And these people are like 190 over 120, and it got them back to the normal range. So like I'm just out of it.
Yeah.
I'm just out of the normal. I'm just slightly elevated, but still, like, if you know the function of the kidneys, then you'll know high blood pressure, how bad it is. Like, it's almost all the health issues can stimulate from blood pressure, because the kidneys are your filters. Imagine a coffee filter and how it trickles through a coffee filter, right? So that's what blood's supposed to do through your kidneys. Now, take that same coffee filter and then crank up the water hose on jet setting. How long is that coffee filter going to last? That's basically what you're doing to your kidneys whenever you have high blood pressure. And then that also causes thickening of the blood, less filtration of it. That can cause like blood clotting, thickening of the arteries, and then it can cause your heart to work harder, which causes your heart to have to build up in size. When the heart grows in muscle mass, it doesn't grow outward, it grows inward. And then what happens is it starts restricting the valves inside the heart, and then that makes the heart work harder. Then that makes your body overall work harder, and that's where you could come into effect with strokes, heart attacks,
all
just
kinds
all
of
kinds
fun
of stuff.
health
And,
problems.
yeah, and it all stimulates from simply monitoring your blood pressure. So I'm doing that right now, and I'm going to see. I just started that here recently, and I'm going to see what my blood pressure does. I'm going to keep an eye on it, and then if it doesn't come back down to the 120s like I want, then I'm just going to cut the sodium completely out of my diet again, and just be like, accept the fact that's like, okay, I'll have a decent amount of sodium once a week as a treat, and then 6 days out the week I'll keep my sodium levels like pretty much non-existent, because I don't have a problem with cramping. Whenever I have low sodium, like I don't have an issue with cramping or seizing up or locking up in my muscles and nothing like that. I know some people, they suffer severe cramps when they go low sodium. I'm very fortunate where I don't have that issue. So those are the supplements that I'm taking. So I'm not taking any like diuretics or any weight loss. And then if you're on a diuretic, you got to make sure you're drinking a lot of water, because it dries you out, and that affects your kidneys, and they'll thicken your blood up. They're very, very bad if you do not drink enough fluid.
Yeah, it's one of the things that it recommends in the supplement itself is to make sure you get plenty of water, which I up my water intake a good bit while taking it. And I think, though, like the vast majority of the quote-unquote weight loss that I've experienced, whatever, is just the water shedding, because it has like water shedding pills in it,
Which is the diuretic.
and that's the majority of, I think, of what I've found to be like the roughly 10, 11 pounds that I've lost while taking it in the week and a half, 2 weeks that I've been using it so far, and it's only been to be used for 3 weeks consistently.
Okay, so let me ask you, have you noticed where the weights come off? Have you felt the weight come off? Do you feel a difference in your clothes or your body, or do you just like is it just gone? Like, otherwise, what I'm trying to say, when I lost 11 pounds of water weight, whenever I got off of sodium completely on my last cut, like I felt it immediately, like in my chest, shoulder areas. I felt like my muscles just like deflated on my upper body, like almost instantaneously in that week. I felt like I lost like 2 sizes worth of clothes. And, but overall I felt better. Like I didn't feel like I had so much weight on my chest either, if that makes sense. Like internally, it felt like a pressure was like
I
relieved.
hope that happens with my belly.
Seriously.
I haven't noticed anything like that. I've noticed like bloating and stuff is not as much of an issue, because I don't retain any of the water throughout the day. Like I typically, without doing this, I'm not one to really, like, I'll pee just a few times a day, even when hydrating. It's not something that I constantly do, and especially like at night when I go to sleep, like I'll go pee before I go to lay down. And then for me, for the vast majority of my life, if I have to pee during like the middle of the night or whatever, I have to actually like go before I get out of bed. If not, I'm like, nope, I'll wait till morning. I'm not getting up.
Not me.
So bad for your bladder.
Kind of thing. But it's not like I have to go sort of thing. It's like, oh yeah, I kind of
Like I feel the urge.
Does
whatever.
this stuff make you have to pee more? What he's taking?
Yeah,
Because
it's a
it's like
diuretic.
flushing out.
Because
your
it's going to
fluid?
flush out the fluid, so that's why I've been
Great.
using the restroom more.
Yeah.
So like
Are you
even
taking that too?
I just started it today.
during the nighttime or whatever, I've noticed like I've had to kind of get up, not wanting to, but I've had to get up during the middle of the night to go use the restroom every now and then.
So I've taken a diuretic once in my life. Whenever I was powerlifting, I got up to 290 pounds and I was eating a lot of food. So with that food comes a lot of sodium. So I started retaining a lot of fluid between the muscle and the skin. So if you get too much water and too much sodium, what happens is the body can't absorb it. So it will put it between the muscle and the skin. So my legs ballooned up and they look like tubes where I could take my shin and I could push on my shin. And I can let go, and there was a big dip where I let off, and it would take like 5 or 10 minutes to fill back in, right? And I could do that 3-4 different spots down my shin, all around it. So when that happened, I knew like, okay, like this isn't good. So I took a diuretic, and then my body flushed out probably in a week, probably about 30 pounds worth of water weight. Yeah, in about a week, I dropped 30 pounds worth of water weight. Really. So I went from 290 to 260 in about a week and a half worth of time. And once my body weight came down that fast, I stopped taking the diuretic, and then I was fine after that. So like I said, diuretics are great, and they're also really, really bad. So like I said, you just kind of got to monitor. So they have a time and a place. And when you're cutting, that's great too, when you're trying to lose weight. But a lot of people wait to save the diuretics towards like competing in a show, bodybuilding. Yeah. But the thing is, most people get so dehydrated going into a bodybuilding competition
that and they tear their pecs.
Well, yes, but they take diuretics, and then they are already dehydrated on top of taking diuretics, and then it thickens the blood because you're dehydrated, and they're taking diuretic. It thickens the blood. It can cause blood clotting. It can cause all kinds of stuff, and then guys get these horrible health issues that take months to recover from, if they even recover from it at all. Now, I'm not saying don't take it, don't do it. I'm not a doctor, but if you're going to do it, you better do your homework, and you better be very, very, very dialed into what you're doing in your body, because one wrong thing can it can crush you for months, if forever.
Yeah, like I just happened to be looking through the list of items and options and stuff like that, and I saw it, and I was like, you know what? Let me just give it a shot. It says like 3 weeks, whatever. I'll give it a try for 3 weeks, and after that, that's it. That's all that comes. Like you have a supply for 3 weeks, and that's it. Like after the 3 weeks, unless you go buy more, you're out anyway. So like
of the diuretic or of the whole pack?
Of the whole thing.
It comes in a pack of like
all kind of different stuff. Yeah.
So I'll use, like I said, I'll use it for the 3 weeks, and then after that, I have no intentions of repurchasing it again. Not saying that it's not working or anything like that. It's just I wanted to give it a shot, just see what it does, whatever. And then maybe later on down the line, if I decide that if I can shed a little bit for whatever reason, sort of thing. But
so to interrupt, I've already pretty much made my mind up. Like I'm going to see how this 88 days goes. And then at the end, the last 3 weeks, depending on how I'm at, where I am, if it's like, man, my abs are getting real close, or if it's like, man, I'm right there at that 200-pound mark, or I don't know if I'm going to hit it. Oh yeah, I'm going to jump on that last 3 weeks, because that's what it was originally designed for.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm.
Oh, it's like the last big push.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's like if you have like a big event like the river or a competition or a family reunion or something, and you're going to you want to look just that much better as you take it those last 3 weeks, and then you really dial in and stuff like that. Yeah, so that's what I'm gonna.
I don't think it's really super beneficial for me or whatever. 241 still very pudgy in lots of areas. I'm not really
Wait, so you're trying to say
the top candidate for this product is freaking the one.
So what you're trying to say is you're still fat and gross.
Exactly.
Don't worry. I don't think anyone here at this table can say otherwise.
I don't know that I'm gross. I am still fat.
Oh no, we are very fat and gross. Don't misunderstand it. I guarantee you, there's a lot of people out there that will look at all four of us and be like, gross.
Ew.
You're always attracted to somebody, and you're always gross to somebody. And I always like to favor on the side. I think you know what? There's always going to be someone out there that's going to think I have the gross factor, which is fine, because it's just going to motivate me to push a little bit harder.
I don't really care what anyone else thinks, to be honest.
Yeah, well, I'm just comical.
Well, I know, I'm just saying. If you think I'm fat and gross, then don't look at me.
Right,
yeah, right.
Honestly. I mean, I work at Duntaduns when we go out to the beach and the pool. I know people don't like looking at me when I'm in those, and I make sure I bend over a lot. Let me get the towel. Oh, let me get the sunscreen.
I don't know you, but let me just stretch right here.
Are you gonna put the keys down right there? Well, I'm just gonna pick them up and put them down over here. No, I like them better over there. So I make sure that I'm really making sure people are I'm eye catching. So may not be eye candy, but I'm eye catching. So I think all of us we've made pretty good results this week for week 1. I feel good about it. I've been hungry. I'm hungry right now, but that's just it. A lot of this is mental. right? It's
yeah.
it's mentally strong. It's have to be mental tough. Like there's two aspects to bodybuilding. Not saying that you guys are bodybuilding, but you guys are bodybuilding. Y'all working out like bodybuilders. Are starting to diet like bodybuilders. So like the whole thing about bodybuilding is like it's 50% of it's mental. Well, let me phrase it. 100% of it's mental and 100% of it's physical, right? Like you can split it however percentage you want to go, but like the mental side of it is definitely harder than the physical side. Getting to go to the gym to work out's fun. Eating the food's not hard. It may not be what you want to eat. It may not be what you enjoy to eat.
I like my food
But
actually.
but like I said, it's one of those things where like it's
So happy for you.
it's not hard to eat food when you're hungry, and then it's not hard to work out. The gym is fun. It's like an adult playground. Like I've never, as a child, went to the playground, but the swings again, the monkey bars.
I've been like that in the gym, so we can got a different idea.
Well, but still, like I said, for the most part, going to the gym is exciting. It's fun to me. I like making progress. I like working out. I
Yeah,
like
yeah.
straining. I like using my body. I like being physical. I'm just a physical person. I like being active.
I definitely felt a lot better about it like the last half of the week, and I think a lot of that's because you called me out on like my form was wrong, not pushing myself hard enough, not thinking I can lift a gallon of milk. So these last like 2 days for sure, if I'm doing 4 sets, like my first set's like a pretty lightweight, just get the form down, know what I'm
was that?
doing.
Oh no.
Oh, okay, go on.
And then my 2 middle ones, I'll bump it up. And then my 4th one, I'll bump it up again and really try to
Go ham.
push myself, go slow, even if I'm doing like 6 reps. And starting Monday, I'm going to start tracking like my highest weight and reps on
Your
the.
top
Your
set.
last set.
Thank you.
Your top set. Yeah.
Thank you.
I knew
Yes.
what you meant. We got
I figured there was a word for that. I didn't know what it was.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. Like, I think a lot of people like. I'm not going to speak on behalf of other. I'm going to speak
You
on
always
myself.
say this.
Because I don't like to put. I can't. I'm not there to watch everybody. Right. I can only speak on
You.
personal experience and the people that I've helped and seen over the years. So for me, like I know, like it's easy to like get to a point where like you're just going through the motions, and it's like, okay, well, I have 4 sets to do of this, 12 reps per set. Let me just get through it. And then it's like, how much effort are you putting into that? You're not really. There's only 2 reasons to go to the gym.
Maximum effort.
Right? There's only 2 reasons to go to the gym. Right? And it's either you're small and you want to be big, or you're big and you want to be small. That's it. You want to get better. And regardless of what the goal is, well, I want to be stronger. Okay, that's part of getting
That's
bigger.
bigger.
I want to become more athletic. That's being smaller. I want to become more endurance, right? It's the only reason to go to the gym is to get better. And if you're going to take the effort to get up to go to the gym, put the effort in the gym. If you go there and you're tired one day and you don't feel like being in there and everything feels heavy, nothing's clicking, things are hurting, just take the day off. You're going to be far better to take the day off, come back the next day and push twice as hard as you would on the day that you would have just gone in there and gone through the motions. Like, I'm not saying like every single rep has to be performed, like it's going to be your absolute last rep of the set, of the week, of the day, of the month, but you better make sure that that top set, you're giving it what you got. Like if your rep range calls from 8 to 12, you shouldn't be hitting 12 reps. Like you should be hitting between 9 to 10 reps, and you're failing, trying to fight for that 11th, fight for that 12th. And if you do get it, next week you come in, you go up and weight. And if you're on an exercise that you can't do that, like something like side laterals or a small muscle group, well, then slow it down. Do a superset, do a drop set, do something to make it harder that will allow you to continue to decrease forward. Because I can't stand whenever I go to the gym and I see people acting like light weights are heavy. I mean, it has its place to lift light weights, but like what you were doing and stuff like that, I was watching you on your loads and I was just like, what are you doing? Like you're lifting less than a gallon of milk and you're acting like you're doing something. Like if you're going to be in here,
was
like push
doing
yourself.
something.
Stop underestimating yourself. Stop thinking that you can't do it and really push the throttle. And let's see what you actually can do, because you don't know what you can't do until you find. Well, you don't know what you can do until you find out what you can't do. Okay, well, I'm going to keep going up in weight. That was light. Let me go again. Okay, I got those reps. Let me go up again. I got those reps. Let me go up again. I got those. Okay, I barely got 6 with this weight. So now I know I need to work at this weight to get up to 12. Now we're doing work. But if you're going there at 12, next week 12, next week 12, next week 12, and you're always getting 12 reps every single time you go in there, you're not really, I mean, you're not really pushing yourself.
Yeah, for sure. I felt that more these last couple of days, and I've been way more sore these last couple of days also, which is good. That's like a good soreness.
And you're pushing yourself a lot harder too.
Yeah. Show.
Nice. Nice.
I feel like I'm pushing myself harder.
A woman of many words.
I just have to pee really bad.
Don't be real quick.
No, I'm good. I'm just gonna wait.
See the long pause I did there? I'm just waiting for someone to pick up, because y'all are like, well, you don't really give us a chance to talk.
She
so
was talking.
I did talk.
No,
She
I'm
just
saying
finished.
for you. I said you increased the weights and you just sat there.
Oh, I was thinking out loud, like to myself about how it would be.
She was thinking out loud to herself.
Well, yeah. I mean, I feel like I'm doing the same weight. Maybe I am going heavier. I don't. I need to start writing my numbers back down too. I feel like but I definitely feel myself struggling more this week with. So I have to be going up, or
Yeah.
it's me doing that slower pause is why I'm noticing a difference too. I might be doing the same weight, but doing it better. If that makes sense.
Well, you went heavier on easy curl bar tonight too. I know
On
you
an
went.
accident.
Yeah, but you, still
But you
went
did
heavy.
it.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
did it. So that's improvement right there. That's pushing yourself. You're doing a weight that you didn't even touch last week, and now you're able to rep it this week. So I mean, it's
right.
Yeah.
making progress.
I mean, I don't know how you're not busting out of this shirt.
That's what I was saying.
And I think form does take a part, and it does play a huge role in results. Like there's some things that are just pretty self-explanatory, like doing straight bar curls, easy curls. But like when we're doing spider curls, like watching y'all's form, how y'all are like tucking y'all shoulders when y'all were doing it. And I told y'all let y'all shoulders just dead hang and then just bend the elbow, just retract the arm up. And then it took you a few reps to kind of get it. Then once you got it, you're like, oh,
I just had to really focus
Oh.
on my bicep.
yeah.
Just flexing that and just like focusing on that. Because if I stopped really flexing, it was just so easy to move everything else. I was like, stop, stop, stop.
Yeah, like targeting, feeling the muscle is the best way to build a train. I mean, it depends on what you're doing. Like bodybuilding wise, like if you can feel the muscle you're working, obviously it's a much superior way to train versus doing a movement that you don't even feel the muscle at all. You're like, well, I'm doing it and it's supposed to work this out, but I'm not even feeling that. It's like, okay, well, move your elbows in or move your elbows out or change the position of your wrist. Do you feel it now? Well, squeeze here, squeeze there, change this, change that. And if you don't feel it, okay, well, then maybe this isn't the most optimal movement for your bone structure and your joint placement and stuff. Maybe you need to do something else, or maybe you have body parts that are underdeveloped that need to be brought up first before you start feeling this the way that you're supposed to feel it and stuff like that. So either keep going at it or change it out to something that's going to work more ideal. And generally for people that are fairly new to the gym, it's the underdeveloped muscles that have to get caught up, and then you'll start feeling it like you're supposed to feel it. But once you're in it for a while, a couple months, you should start feeling the muscle as it's intended for each movement that you're doing and stuff. And then like
Nice.
you can start tweaking and tuning and like, okay, well, I notice if I twist my wrist slightly or if I tuck my elbow slightly, I feel it better. And then you'll start engaging more. And that's where a lot of these like overcomplicated like videos come out of making it so super complicated on how to work out. And it's just not that difficult to do it. I mean, it's pull, push, press, lift.
Kind of a lot of almost trial and error sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah, and then, like I said, if you feel the muscle, if it's developing, you're on the right track. If you're not feeling the muscle, if it's not developing,
You're doing it wrong.
Yeah, you need to change it up or change it out. So
Yeah.
like what is it? Your shoulders. Your shoulders always kind of give you trouble and stuff like that of lately. So like there's some movements that you feel are more
Yeah, like I was explaining her on one of the workouts earlier, doing like the
Jennifer.
hurdles. It's and shoulder press is one of the big ones too for me. Like I can do Arnold press and I have no issues. I don't know if it's because of the rotation and I'm more inside when doing them, but just a straight shoulder press going outside, my arms tend to drift in more because when I'm in here more, I don't have the click. But when I come out, I can do it a little bit, but if the weight goes up a little bit more, all of a sudden it's not comfortable. I get more of a pain than a muscle work sort of thing. So I just have to figure out where my angles are. Same thing with hurdles. Like some people can go straight out and go up and come down. Me, like even without the weight, like I want to stop right here because I want to shift my shoulder and come down. So I'm more out here kind of person.
And same thing for you, side laterals. Like if you stand straight postured up with side laterals, it hurts your shoulders. But if you lean forward and pitch it a little bit, bring your arms more in front of you, you can do those without pain.
Yeah.
So the best movement you could do is one that doesn't hurt. But if you can fine tune it and tweak it to get it to where it's not bothering your joints or hurting you, and you can feel it where the muscle is supposed to be hit, that's the most ideal.
And figuring out what the impingement is eventually and kind of getting that focus because I should be able to move in that range with no issues. It's just I haven't figured out where my impingement's at exactly, then worked at that to correct it. That's one of the things that's on me. Like I need to correct whatever the issue is.
Yeah, I know for me, like I know I shouldn't, but I have that old power lifter inside of me that just always wants to come out, you know. And we have a program. I got a program, pretty solid program written out that I'm doing, but like I just got this itch. I was like, man, I want to do some deadlifts. I want to do some squats. So I did some squats this week. I can't do free squats because if I do free squats, I go too deep. It hurts my knee and it hurts my hips. But I could do box squats. So I'm going to do some box squats the next couple weeks because I love doing squats. And I'm also going to add in some deadlifts off the floor because I just love dead. I'm not going to go heavy on nothing. I'm going to slow and control, but like, I'm not going to like bang it or nothing else like that, or, you know, slam it down. I'm going to be very controlled, just kiss the ground, come back up. Because I might do it for a week. I might do it for 2 weeks. I might do it for 3 weeks. I might just click and do it the rest of the program. But like, my thing is like, I have to be careful because I'll get carried away. And I'm like,
Nah.
I want to go heavier. I want to go heavier. All right, I'm back in this. Let's start powerlifting. But
405 and a bad hip later.
yeah, 405 and bad hip impingement later. But like, it's one of those things that like, there's just movements that like I naturally gravitate towards in squats, deadlifts, bench. That's the big three because I was a powerlifter. I love those movements. It's not hard for me to want to do those. It's hard for me to not do those movements. It's a fight for me to not do those movements. So like, if you find something that you can do that you enjoy doing, that you get progress and results on, like it's fun to you, do it, right? Just do that movement for that body part, and then once that stops developing or you stop seeing results, or it gets to the point where like you need some other variety or you get bored of it, and then change it out. You know, like there shouldn't be a program that you're so like locked into unless you're getting ready for a competition like powerlifting or strongman. Then you need to do your program and your percentages. You don't need to be changing nothing out. But for what we're doing right now for bodybuilding purposes, like I don't think doing like, all right, well, I'm going to give up hack squats and do actual squats. Oh no, that's the reason why my legs didn't develop. No, it's not. Well, I'm going to start doing, you know, side laterals instead of, you know, or let's say bend over laterals instead of reverse pec deck. Oh, that's why your rear delts didn't develop. No, I don't think that's the biggest determining factor for what we're doing. But like, if you're on a program like that, you need to stick to it. But for me, like, I just have to be careful because, like I said, like it's that old powerlifting, just like, hey, we should lift something heavy today. And it's hard for me to fight that voice inside my head. And so I'm gonna have fun, and I'm gonna do some squats and deadlifts next couple weeks, but I'm gonna try to be reserved.
Keep it reeled in.
Yeah, be reserved about it and everything, because I like to have fun with it and stuff. And if I'm not having fun in the gym, like it's hard for me to want to be in there. But like I could be two different ways. I could be driven, like I don't care if this sucks, this is what I got to do, or like I'm in here to have fun, you know, and I want to have fun and I want to enjoy it while I'm doing it. So, but is there anything else you guys want to add, or
Nope.
you guys
We'll
good?
check in with y'all next
Awesome.
week.
Pretty good weekly recap.
Yep. Okay, so like I said, we're gonna start putting out one of these videos a week with a podcast, just talking about our progress and then what we're doing, and then just general whatever. And then I'm gonna try to put out 2 workout videos a week and see how that goes. I'm gonna see what I can do, because the reason why I stopped doing the workout videos, if anyone's still watching and curious, is because I ended up realizing I was focusing more on my recording and my YouTube channel over my actual workouts, and I can't prioritize my channel and my videos over my workout. So it's just like I gotta stop. I gotta go back to the podcast format, because like I could talk about whatever I want for as long as I want in here, but in there, like if I'm in the middle of a topic and then I'm like 2 minutes between my set, the next thing I know I'm 12 minutes still talking, I'm wrecking my workout. So it's like it's hard for me to want to record in the gym right now, because I really need to focus on what I'm doing. So that's why we decided to go back to this kind of format and stuff like that. So I don't know how long we're going to do this. We might do this for the next 12 weeks, and then we might add in. So we're going to play with it and see what kind of fits like our needs, I
Yeah,
guess.
and y'all can also let us know what y'all like.
Yeah, that's that too. Y'all can what format you guys like, for if we get like one person all the way to the end of this video, one person,
Seriously.
let us know if you made it to the end.
Let
Just
us know.
like made it. Just leave a comment. I made it.
Yes.
All right. That way we know. And if you do, we might do something for you. I don't know what, but we'll figure it out. Maybe a giveaway. Maybe we'll finally get something besides that preacher curl bench. I hate that damn thing. But all right. Well, thanks for watching, guys. We're gonna end it here, and we'll see you guys next week with another update video.
Bye.
End of week 1 of 12.
Oh, bye. Now.